I mean, you know how the Isle of Man is for rumours and everything. I mean, I've been hearing from various sources that you've been sending out less people to fires where you'd normally be ringing up retainers to come along as well. You haven't been, and they're sort of griping a bit that their money's been cut back. Your response to that?
What's happened is, as part of the business review of what we do, one of the responsibilities we have is to try and drive down unwanted calls to the service. And in particular, what we have, we're slightly the victim of our own success in that we encourage premises to have sophisticated fire alarm and modern fire safety systems, but on occasions those systems go off, and on fewer occasions they go off for unwanted reasons. And what we're working hard to do is drive that down.
My question is, are you sending out less people to an incident now? Are you holding back on people that you'd normally have pulled in as retainers, for instance?
No. What we have done, though, is we have undertaken a complete review of what would be a predetermined...
So you are sending less people out, but that's under your review?
No, what it is in the case of an unconfirmed incident, such as an automatic fire alarm, why should we put the public at risk by mobilising a very heavy response to that under blue light conditions, where statistically the chances are that it isn't a significant incident, it's likely to have been detected in its very early stages, and it will be dealt with by 1 or 2 crews as opposed to 4 or 5.
Excuse me, but I think you're confirming that you are sending out less people then, as a first response. Less people are actually going on scene.
No, in terms of if there is a confirmed incident, if someone has a fire in their home, for example, no, absolutely not. A property fire will attract 3 pumps, 3 fire engines to attend it. What I'm saying is, when we get an unconfirmed automatic fire alarm, instead of sending 4 or 5 fire appliances to it, we will reduce that to 1 or 2. And a classic example of that is we have specialist aerial vehicles based in Douglas, the high reach vehicles. When a fire alarm goes off, we're responding those out to all parts of the island. And yet in reality, very quickly into the incident, we will know whether we need it. So we're not sending it in the first instance. If at any point there was a confirmed incident, then it would roll.
You made that very clear, thank you. Will there be further cuts to come over the next 3 or 4 year plan as the government is moving ahead with pulling in the belts even further? Have you got any more room for cuts?
In terms of what's going to happen in future years, that's very much down to the Chief Minister, the Council of Ministers, the review of the scope of government. We understand our position is to do what we need to do in terms of we're within the...
Can you cut any further, though, do you think, possibly, with the way... You've got to have so many people, surely.
Well, we need to be very aware that the Fire and Rescue Service budget, approximately 85% of it, is based around people and wages. So we have no room to make any further reductions in terms of our revenue budget.
So if they come back to you next year, and it's not your choice, is it? Let's face it, at the end of the day, you get told more cuts are required. There comes a point when you would put people's lives at risk if it kept on going like that.
Well, that's really the interaction that we have between ourselves, our minister, and our minister going forward to the council in terms of to be very clear about the position of the emergency services and any potential impact that any potentially further reductions might have.
So everyone that's going is retiring anyway. Your recruitment, is that going to be affected?
Not at this stage. As I explained, we have a succession plan over the next 20 years. By necessity, that's a very robust plan because we have to recognise the broad range of skills that we have in this organisation, the specialisms that we bring. We're a very small organisation who have to provide a sort of national quality of service where we provide water rescue, we provide hill search and rescue, we provide rope rescue, we now undertake urban search and rescue.
But you will be recruiting.
Broad range. What I'm saying is, in order to, whenever retirements take place, we can't afford skills decay. And what we have to do is recruit and train those individuals.
But less people in future?
I sincerely hope not. I think we've got to the point now where, as Chief Fire Officer, I do not want to go any further in terms of reduction of staff. I will have that debate with my Minister who will go forward with that.